over the last years, I've had the pleasure to travel to some great cities all around the world, like Miami, Paris, Rome, London, Copenhagen, Madrid. Surely I'm forgetting some others, and I've had the pleasure to travel through all of these cities. And I've always asked myself this question of, well, and out of all of those, which is the greatest city of them all? What is the greatest city in the world? And today I find myself in one of those great cities that I've been to in the last years, Stockholm, the capital of this beautiful country. More like this. Why I say this is that it ticks all the boxes of what a great city should be, in my opinion. Some of those around great history, great architecture, great people, great nightlife, great education, great health expectancy. It ticks some of the most important aspects, and as well it has something that London and Paris and New York and some of those other great huge cities don't have, which is security. I feel at peace, which is very weird. Like in Paris, in London, in New York, you don't feel at peace. You're like, okay, like there's lots of things going on. You don't feel 100% safe walking the streets. Yeah, you may feel a bit safe, but you have to keep an eye on your stuff. Here in Stockholm, on the other side, that doesn't even cross my mind. Some days ago, I went to the city center of Stockholm because there was a football match. The Euros were going on, so there was the match of Spain versus France. So I was, of course, supporting France. I go to the city center alone because I'm staying here with a family member who doesn't really enjoy football. So I had to see it with some people who like football, and I went to the city center all alone. I sat by myself at a bar to see the match. Well, a group of Norwegian girls came to me and they sat next to me, and we spoke all throughout the match. And it was a very good conversation, and we spoke about life, whatever, life in France, life in Norway, life in Stockholm, because they live in Stockholm. And I asked them the question, what is the best city in the world? And for me, their answer, it's important because they're citizens from the second most developed country in the world, which is Norway, according to the Human Development Index. And they have been living in Stockholm for a while, so they have been traveling quite a lot as well. I really wanted to see what they would say. And they said Stockholm so fast. They didn't even let me finish the question, they already answered Stockholm. And I was like, how can they say it with such a certainty? Like, Stockholm, it was so fast that it elevated me questioning to think, like, is Stockholm really the best city in the world? Why? Another very funny thing that may put Stockholm in my mind to think that it may be the best city in the world is that happened this same day of the football match was that an old dude, before I met the Norwegian girls, an old dude came and we spoke before the match even started about the football match, and I was of course saying France is gonna win, France will defeat Spain certainly, and he was joking around, he was saying no, Spain will win against France and Spain will win the Euro Cup, and he was saying it, I think, to mock me around a bit. An old dude, literally white beard, not too much hair, but he was so nice. And then I stayed at the same place all through the match. At halftime, he came when I was with the Norwegian girls, and he brought me a beer. He bought me a beer, like invited me for a beer. And they laughed, and they were like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, what? And I told them, like, this will never ever happen in France. Like, that a dude like that just buys your beer randomly. That has never ever happened to me in my life. And that it happened to me in Stockholm was so fun. Because as well, at halftime, France were losing 2-1. And I think he felt bad that France were losing. And at the end of the match, he came as well to say, oh, I'm sorry, but I told you. And it was so, like, that is something that will never happen to me in France, and that I got to experience it in Sweden. Even though it may seem like a small gesture, to me it was big. To me it was like, wow, like people do these sort of things. It made me think. So right now, when I take into consideration everything that makes a city great, out of all the cities I've visited, whether it is the architecture, the history, the people, the education of the people, the niceness of the people, the prettiness of the people, which is not bad at all here in Stockholm, the white bunnies, the health, the whatever it is, the liberty, the security, all of that, I cannot see why Stockholm is not the best city in the world. I just can't. There's nothing that I see that may take over this. Okay, the owner of that boat, either he has an Asian wife or he's from Singapore. Much probably is the second option, that he's from Singapore, but I like thinking that he has an Asian wife. Another thing that can only add up to this point that Stockholm is the best city in the world is that when you think what is the most developed place in the world, we can all get to the consensus that it is indeed Scandinavia. And what is the biggest city in Scandinavia? Well, it is Stockholm. So if you just put it in a simplified manner, then by logic, then Stockholm may be the best city in the world just by seeing it that way. What exactly would you think makes the best city in the world? Is it just the nightlife? Then if it's just the nightlife, then maybe New York may be the best. Is it just, oh, I want to make a lot of money? Then is maybe London or New York may be the best as well. Is it I want to live a long and happy life? Then probably one of the 5 blue zones in the world may be the best. Just an emphasis for some of you who don't know what the blue zones are. They are the 5 zones in the world where people live supposedly the longest, and there have been many studies done for them. Of you, which are, I think it's one in Greece, one in Italy, one in Costa Rica, one in Japan, and the other one is in California. So it is all just relative. For those of you who don't know, the 5. So to conclude this video, do I think that Stockholm is the best city in the world? The answer is, I see nothing that can contradict this. So therefore, it may be the best city in the world. And if I'm honest, I think it is. But is it my favorite city in the world? No. And that's a question to another video. And yeah, thank you a lot for watching this video. And see you next week with a new adventure. Bye! So just like that, with the beautiful royal palace of Sweden behind me, I would say thank you for watching this video and see you in a new one with a new adventure. Bye!